Well, it looks like the haters are on to somebody else now. It's off of me and on to Garth Brooks. Last week, we talked about cancel culture within the entertainment business. And you know what? Just overall, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that with a story that happened last week with Garth Brooks. I'm sure you saw it, but all the details are coming straight ahead in today's episode of the Steve Freeman Podcast. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the Steve Freeman Podcast, the real, raw truth about the pursuit of success in music, business, and life. Here's your host, hit songwriter, multi-platinum selling producer, and serial entrepreneur, Steve Freeman.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Steve Freeman. Welcome to the Steve Freeman Podcast, brand new episode. Good to have you here. While you're here, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. No matter where you're listening or where you're watching, make sure that you subscribe. If you're on Apple Podcasts, give us those 5 stars, and please leave a written review if you'd like to have it featured here on the show. I'd also love to have you as a part of my inner circle. To sign up, all you have to do is go to my site, thestevefreeman.com, sign up for the Inner Circle, and you'll get some occasional tips, tricks, advice on business, the music business, songwriting, all kinds of cool stuff that I find interesting and that I think might be helpful, occasionally delivered straight to your email inbox. It's the Inner Circle. Join now at thestevefreeman.com. If you're not following me on social media, I would love to have you. It's at thestevefreeman on all social media profiles. If you do follow me, though, shoot me a DM and or comment on a post. Let me know that you follow me so that I can follow you back. And as always, the podcast brought to you by Artist Development Academy. That's artistdevelopmentacademy.com. If you want the information, the access to the people that really matter and know what they're doing, and you want the guidance that it takes to take your career in the music business to the next level, to find success, not fame. I'm talking about being led there by people who have been there and achieved it before. Oh, so important. Then we are waiting for you at the Artist Development Academy. Brand new monthly online courses for songwriting, producers, engineers, social media marketing. Everything is shaped to give you an experience to teach you how to make money in this business and be successful. We would love to have you. Go check it out. It's artistdevelopmentacademy.com. Lots of cool stuff going on. New members every day. The members only forum is super cool. People are posting their work for feedback, finding co-writers and collaborators. It's just we're having a lot of fun, and we would love to have you over there. Right now, you can save 30% on your annual membership. You can get the entire year for 30% off. Just head over to artistdevelopmentacademy.com. All right, guys, let's jump into the meat of today's episode. We've been kind of on this thing since I got on the kick and was talking about female artists in country music and the lack of support from the majority of the female fan base, because I look at things like facts and figures and numbers, and the fact that male artists sell more records, and we got into all that. I got my hand slapped by a lot of different people. I don't care. I was still right. We followed that up with talking about cancel culture and the world that we live in, that we are just so eager to find the things that separate us. We are so eager to find things that divide us rather than the things that bring us together. Now, this always heats up when we are in a political season like we're in right now with the election coming up. And nothing divides us as people quite like politics. When you think about it, there's so many different things that are wrapped up in politics. You've got abortion issues, you've got immigration, you've got healthcare, you've got many different things that people take very hardline stances on one side or the other. And the day and age that we live in, the candidates on both sides are so polarizing that you find that it's all or nothing on both sides. It's all or nothing. You either agree with me 100% or you're an asshole. Or you're wrong. There's never any middle ground. We very seldom come together and have a healthy discussion or discourse in the areas of life, business, entertainment, politics, in any area that we disagree with. We automatically just think, if you don't think exactly the way that I think, if you don't believe the things that I believe, then you're wrong. Your opinion doesn't matter. You suck, and everybody like you sucks. We end up painting each other with very, very, very broad brushes. And God made us very individualistic. He made us unique. Every single one of us is unique except for those identical twins. But he made us unique. We are not all made to think, act, look, believe the same things. If I were to talk about, I don't even know how to pin myself down politically. There are things that conservatives agree with that I agree with for reasons and belief systems of my own. There are things in with the Democrats and liberals that I agree with that I don't have an issue with. Like for example, gay marriage. I don't care who you marry. I don't care who you love. It's not my business. But conservatives have a real issue with that and a real problem with that. And I could list abortion. I'm not a big fan of abortion. I was adopted in 1977 instead of being aborted. So I find I have basis and reason for that. I am not against the things that I'm against because of reasons other people have put out there. Same thing on the other side. I'm not for things that I'm for or that I believe in or that I'm passionate about or that I champion because somebody else says that I should, or that I should think this because I'm a Baptist or I'm a Lutheran or I'm an atheist or I'm a Buddhist or I'm this, it doesn't matter. I form my own opinion for me as it reflects and relates to me in my life. What I think is sad is that we don't have more people like that. I think there's a lot of us out there. I think a lot of us can find common ground. That's why I think most of the politicians, no matter which side they're on, are so far out of touch with what you and me really want and what you and me really expect from our government. They think we expect it to be big or we expect it to be small, but I think most of us expect somewhere in between. I think we expect it to work. I think we expect that when it works for the benefit of those that pay for it. I think it works for the benefit of those that need it the most. Sometimes those things don't cross. Sometimes those things don't meet. And what I think happens is we pick stances on one side or the other, and we plant our flag there, and there's no movement. So often, I think we find these brick walls in our life, in our jobs, in our careers, and we get up every day for whatever reason. It may be because we're passionate. It may be an intrinsic belief that we do believe that we're right. But we wake up with this mentality, and we get up and we go find a brick wall to bang on. We physically get up every day and go looking for it versus trying to find the common ground and deal with other people and be human. And unfortunately, go all the way back to the most basic of beliefs. And I think we can all agree and believe that we should treat others the way that we would want to be treated. Who knew that everything in your life would come back to the golden rule? But it really is that way, but we don't have the appreciation for that anymore. We do not have the willingness to treat others the way that we want to be treated. We want others to be the way we want them to be, and then we will treat them accordingly. I want to bring this around to what happened with Garth Brooks last week for those of you that might be living under a rock and didn't see this. Garth was playing Ford Field in Detroit, where the Detroit Lions play. Okay, Detroit Lions. He's in Detroit. Somebody took a picture of him standing in the tunnel getting ready to go out to the stage. He's wearing a jersey that says Sanders across the back with the number 20. People went irate. Without thinking about the math and without thinking about it, they saw the picture and went looking for the brick wall to bang on. He took so much junk and so much crap. People thought he was making a political statement saying, vote for Bernie Sanders in 20. What those of people that did that didn't stop to think about, and that I think may be one of my larger problems with where we are as a society today, is we don't stop and think, we react. We instinctively and immediately, we're constantly in attack mode. We are constantly, we have our guard up, we've got the shields up, and we are like in 300, man. We are those warriors that are constantly down in our stance. And we are ready to take attack at any moment, and we're ready to return fire. Those people got on Facebook and other social media outlets and were crucifying Garth Brooks. You just lost your fan base. He looking for a reason to be political, and he's a liberal and he supported Obama, and this is all political, and we'll never buy your music again. And it almost felt like, I thought for a second that we were going back to the Dixie Chicks, where the people were literally burning Dixie Chicks records in the street. And I thought, oh my God, Garth, what have you done? And watching people's reaction and reading their reactions to him wearing this jersey before they thought, they were already in attack mode. When if they would have just stopped to think that here he is playing a stadium, Ford Field in Detroit, where the Detroit Lions play. He's really good friends with Barry Sanders, who is one of the best running backs of all time. Just so happens that he played for Detroit. He was a Detroit Lion. Before that, he went to college with Garth in Oklahoma. So he's in, let's do the math. So here Garth is, he's in Detroit. He's good friends with Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders played for the Detroit Lions. Barry Sanders wore number 20. Garth is performing in front of 70,000 people in their stadium where the Detroit Lions play, and he wears a Barry Sanders jersey. See, that math to me, very rarely in life, is something 2 + 2 = 4. Most time, it's 2 + 2 = 6. Sometimes it equals 7. Sometimes it equals 1. This is one of those situations, however, that is as simple as 2 + 2 = 4. And to watch the backlash of what he was going through from these people that just would not think. I put on Facebook, I reposted the picture. And being me, I posted the picture and I put the comment, something similar to, if you think this was a political statement, please do not vote because you are too mentally handicapped to make decisions that affect the rest of us. Now, I even have friends of mine that jumped in on the argument and were still, he just killed his career. Tell me this, why do we see everything through these self-imposed, design-constructed, rose-colored glasses? Why, when you saw that, does it have to be a political statement for Bernie Sanders and not that he's wearing a Barry Sanders jersey at Detroit, in Detroit, at Ford Field, where the Detroit Lions played? Why couldn't it be that he was wearing the jersey of the most famous Detroit Lion that ever put on a jersey? I started to get back on there and comment also, but I will say it here. I didn't say it there, so I'll say it here. This is not like he was playing in San Francisco and wore a Kaepernick jersey. Now, see, that would have been a completely different thing. That would have been trying to make a statement when he could have worn, Joe Montana or Jerry Rice if he was trying to play to the crowd, right? If he would have been in San Francisco and worn a Kaepernick jersey, then that's making a statement. Garth Brooks was not trying to make any other statement than, hey, check this out. Barry Sanders jersey. I'm playing in Detroit, where the Lions play. Go Lions. That's the statement Garth Brooks was making. Because I can promise you, if Garth Brooks wanted to make a political statement, he could book a press conference and every news channel would carry it. And he would tell you, this is who you need to go vote for. This is who you need to go vote for. And even in the comments section on mine, people, oh, he's going to kill his career just like Taylor Swift. I'm like, really? Point to me where Taylor Swift killed her career by being political, because yes, I believe she supported Obama. However, she never got involved in the political process until, 2017 or 18, when she came to Tennessee to campaign for the candidate that was running against Marsha Blackburn, because she didn't like Marsha's stance on gay marriage, gay rights, various other issues. That's when Taylor Swift became political. But to me, the overall thing here, the overall point here, is that I don't think we're going to get to a point where we are truly fixing the wounds that this country has when we constantly stay in attack mode. When we're constantly looking at the negative instead of seeing the positive. This was not a political statement by Garth Brooks for Bernie Sanders. I don't care what you say. And if you think that, you're an idiot. The math is very simple. But I think it's also important that we are in this election season. We have a presidential race that's ongoing that will come to an end in November. But I wish that people would look and see they put so much value and blame all of the problems that we have on one particular person or another, whether it's Donald Trump or whether it's Obama or Hillary or Bernie or Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren. Guys, they are not our country. We are. Yes, they may have some very hard stances one side or the other of what they believe in, but they are one person. It's you and I that make up the whole of this country. And the problem, I feel that it's not these individuals on one side or the other that are creating the rifts and creating the wounds and the scars. It's you and me. We're the ones that feel or use either one of the sides people, whether it's, like I said, Trump or Obama or whoever's on the other side of this war. People are using the words that they say as ammunition to use against each other. That's what I'm trying to say. Is we use the words and the belief systems of those one particular people or persons. We use those as ammunition, and then we fire those guns at each other. We look for every opportunity that we can to disagree with somebody. Often we overlook facts just so we can be combative, just so we can say our 2 cents. I know a lot of people that just say something is black when it's white just so they can, just to add fuel to the fire. They know they're wrong, but it doesn't matter. We found almost to a point where there's no victory in being right anymore. There's no victory in winning. There's no prize in winning because we're all getting off way too much on the fight and on the battle. We can't always be right. We won't always be wrong. But we've got to find some middle ground to where we can come together and we can start focusing on the things that we like, that we love about other people, instead of the things that we are letting define us and ultimately divide us from one another. You take country music as a genre, has always been known for brotherly love and stories and truth and bringing people together, even though a large majority of the music is about splitting up. It's odd though, but it's always been a sort of a picture, if you will, that's been painted of a Southern lifestyle that historically has been welcoming to people. You take this format and you look at its brightest star and you see this happen. It's the perfect example of, like I said earlier, where we almost look for that brick wall. That we feel like we are not doing our part. We're not being or living up to our potential unless we are getting up every day and trying to find that brick wall to try to tear down. It almost seems at times that when we're not building them, when we're not banging on them, we're building them. I just wonder what would happen if a lot of us got together and started looking at things from a real, honest perspective. If we were honest with ourselves and other people, then I think if we did that, we would start to actually tear these walls down instead of continually either beat on them or build them. I don't know what causes someone to see that picture of Garth Brooks and automatically get pissed off. I don't know where that changed. I think we can blame the people at the top because they've got the loudest voices. And a lot of times the loudest voice in the room is the one that gets heard, and it's the story that gets repeated. But I also think that the responsibility lies with you and me to think for ourselves. Don't just take somebody's word as gospel. We have to do our own research. We have to do our own thinking. We have to apply that to our own experience. We are all shaped and guided by how and what things affect us the most. But I know that I'd like to see it better. I would like to see or live again in a world where people see that picture of Garth Brooks and think, man, I wish I had a Barry Sanders jersey. Or that Barry Sanders jersey is freaking cool. The OG. Not, oh my God, a Garth Brooks. He must be voting for Bernie. What a horrible world and environment that we are creating for ourselves. And I know a lot of people get off on this. A lot of people, trust me, with what went on with me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook last week, I get it. I see it. But I also see that half of the people that were on me, giving me shit and hating on me, half of those people were doing it just to do it. They don't really believe what they're saying. They're hearing and repeating. Half of the people that were on me and giving me all the hell they were giving me didn't even listen to the podcast or didn't watch the podcast or didn't even read the entire article. They were reacting to a piece of the article that I wrote that was posted. It wasn't even posted in its entirety. I would like to think that at some point we become the people that wants the full article, that we want to know all of the facts. We want to read everything and then we consume it. We take it in and we judge it based on our experience versus just jumping on a bandwagon, especially when that bandwagon is hate. There's enough hate in the world, guys. There's enough. If we all dropped out of it, there would still be enough of it in the world. We keep all hearing about making this a better country and having a better life and building a better life. Well, guys, we're the construction workers. We're the ones with the tools in our hands. We are building the world that we're living in. Maybe if we all came about it a little bit different, we had a little bit different of a worldview, and God forbid, maybe even a little bit of compassion and understanding, and maybe, just maybe, if we weren't constantly in attack mode, and if we didn't constantly see someone as an enemy first before they prove differently, maybe we could all wear Barry Sanders jerseys and not piss off anybody. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the podcast. Guys, thank you for being here. I know that I went off on a little bit of a tangent today, and this is not what a lot of you listen to, but I am, over the coming weeks, I am going to start to expand the topics. I'm going to go beyond music business and get into business, get into life, get into what makes us tick and how to be more successful and how to work better together. Because I think it's important. I want to make changes in me, and I want you to be able to make the changes in you. And most importantly, I want us to be able to work together and to mean something to each other again, other than just seeing each other as enemies. So guys, if you are not following me on social media, I would love to have you a part of my social media family, my circle. You can follow me at the Steve Freeman everywhere, and especially my real inner circle. If you'd like to join my inner circle, go to thestevefreeman.com and sign up. It's absolutely free. I don't sell your information or anything like that. You're totally safe. I'm not an enemy. I'm not an enemy. I'm your friend. Also, don't forget, head over and visit artistdevelopmentacademy.com. Get the information, access, and guidance you need to take your career to the next level. If you're a songwriter, producer, engineer, music industry professional, and you really want to take your career to a place where you make money and find success, not fame, but success, and you're willing to put in the hard work, we're willing to show you exactly what you need to do and how to do it. So come visit us, artistdevelopmentacademy.com. And guys, until the next time, keep being creative, keep pressing the boundaries, and there's nothing wrong with being independent. See you in the next one.
Thanks for joining us for the Steve Freeman Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow Steve on social media at the Steve Freeman.